What up, what up, what up, what's up, America and beyond? You are now tuned into another installment of Brooklyn Bears and Ball Sports Show. I am your acting substitute co-host, filling in for Big Brother Rod. Prayers out to Rod and everything he's doing. Me and Don's here. We're gonna try to get through it. But before we do, what I like you to do is do us a couple favors. We'd like you to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're tuned in, don't just sit there, comment. Let us know, because there's no way you agree with everything that we're saying. So let us know how wrong we are and how right you are, and let's put together a good show for him. D, how you feeling, big bro?
Ah, man, all good, man. I think Rod might be ducking because the Lakers lost to the Suns. I can't put my finger on it. I can't confirm or deny.
Okay.
But Kevin Durant and the Suns. I think they beat the Lakers, if I'm not mistaken. But it happens. It happens. Maybe it was a fluke, right? Maybe it was a fluke.
It's not a fluke.
Maybe the connection of the two happening and Rod not being here. There's no connection to it. But
no correlation. No correlation.
No correlation to it.
I'm gonna try to get my big words up too. I got some big shoes to fill, man. I got big shoes to fill.
All good. all good. But without further ado, man, let's get into it. Okay, so listen, we'll start off the show talking about Cameron Newton. Cam Newton, league MVP, he played in the Super Bowl. He's a extremely polarizing figure, right? He was, right. I mean, he's been that his entire career. Very braggadocious, charismatic, loud in a sense. His everything about his play was, hey, look, see me. This is who I am.
Right.
He was dabbing and when
ripping open the shirt. You got to rip open the shirt.
That's right. He was doing the Superman, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
hitting the folks too. Hitting the folks on. Oh, he had it all. A full repertoire of celebrations, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so now that Cam is post-career, he has a very, very successful podcast. He still has remained a polarizing figure. When you think about his comments on, that was circulating, when you think about game changer to game manager, Cam was at the, at the start of that, or pretty much was kind of pushing that whole narrative about certain quarterbacks that play in the league are just game managers, not game changers, as he was, or he suggests that he was. But listen, Cam, those camps that you do, those football camps, I suggest in 2024 that you move on from those, that you pretty much stop doing those football camps. For everyone who hasn't seen it, Cam Newton was jumped. I don't know if it was
an attempted jumping.
It was attempted jumping, but it's a jumping. It's being jumped all the same. Right. Whether it's attempted or not, people tried to put hands on you, and if you're supposed to be the dignitary, you're supposed to be the person. I don't know if it was his camp or if it was someone that he was, just going to support. I think it was like a 7-on-7 camp. Typically, when you do these type of camps, kids are supposed to be totally enamored and just wanting to get any information they can from you as being a celebrity or someone that has played at the level they're trying to reach. So there is a certain level of respect. Cam gets no respect. People, right. I mean, now this is not the first time. So this is the first time I believe it got physical. But this is not the first time. We've had kids talk to him about when he lost in the Super Bowl. We had somebody talk to him about, him being the fact that he was a free agent. Nobody wanted him. These are kids now. First of all,
Absolutely.
it shows a level of disrespect, right? That a person that has obviously gotten to a level that you haven't, may never get to, you feel comfortable enough to be disrespectful. That's the first problem.
Absolutely.
Second problem is Cam Newton, he goes back and forth with them. That I think is also a problem. Some things you should be above, right? Some things you shouldn't even engage. But I think part of it feels like he needs to still show he has street cred, and he's not going to let someone that he deems being of a lesser degree or a lesser social economic position challenge him, what he's been able to do. Now, if I was in the NFL, I was a league MVP. I had, I don't know, 12, 13 years in the league. I got millions in the bank. When you see me, you know who I am. I don't have to, explain that, right? I don't have to try to figure and tell you what I am to the league or what I've ever been. So I think part of it is the fact that he feels he needs to challenge it. Part of it, I think, is this generation is not taking that the honor and respect you would think he would deserve. They're not giving. What do you say?
I say, one, you touched on a lot of stuff that I was going to say about the camps, about them just doing them in general at all. Like, I think nowadays with social media and everything, athletes are too accessible. So it's not like when we were coming up, we didn't have social media. So say this is 25, 30 years ago, we're teenagers, and whoever the Cam Newton, Joe Montana walks past us, we sitting there like this. We don't even got time to tell Joe he stinks or what he didn't do in his career and all that. Like anybody walk past, even if it's a backup, walking, hey, that's so and so right there. Oh man, it's no. You're no longer mesmerized by these big polarizing figures because they're so accessible on social media. You can say something to them, and it's a good chance they won't, but they might actually say something back to you. And you get into war words with them. Then when you see them, it's like the kids today is just so like disrespectful, man. It's just so disrespectful that I when I saw the video, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'm like, how can people think that it's okay to put your hands on Cam Newton? It's like, what are you trying to I mean, I wouldn't even call it a jumping because the man's hat never came off. How do you jump somebody and you can't even get their head off? You got to think, Cam is what, 6'5"? Right. Cam is a big dude. Like, it's linebackers that couldn't take him down. Like, he could have did them way worse than he did them. He could have took the punches of some and just focused in on one and absolutely mauled him. Yeah. Okay.
He could have wore one of them out, just said, hey, you know what? Whatever punches you're going to give me, I'll take those. But one of you guys is going to...
Are going to the ER, but he couldn't do that because, he would have got sued and all that, so it's like, it's a thin line you got to walk between, keeping your wits about you and just saying, you know what, I'm going to put hands on somebody. And
but Scrap, this is the problem. And you brought up a perfect point. He has way more to lose than any of those kids or fathers that were coaching. Right. So why engage in it? Now, being jumped, that's one thing. But we're at the point where if you get into a conversation, everybody has a camera phone. Right. They're doing it for clout. They're doing it for followers, TikTok, whatever. So why even at some point you got to just fall back?
Yeah, and you know what? That was my second point. I'm sitting here like, okay, Cam, you were a league MVP. You made it to the Super Bowl. You didn't win. You're more than likely to be a Hall of Famer. Like, you get disrespected at these things that you throw. You're not making any money off of them.
Right.
You're coming out your pocket trying to give back. And this is what Dre say. This is the thanks I get.
Right. This
is the thanks I get. You know what? I got something better for y'all. I'm going to ride around in all my expensive cars. I'm going to go live off in my mansion with my family. And you know what? Let somebody else make another hole. Make another Cam. Let another Cam come out and throw these clinics and, try to get these athletes exposure, try to, teach them the game, how to play the game the right way. Let somebody else do it. I'm not doing it. If I was Cam, I'm like, you know what? Fine. You're right. I'm not doing none of this. I'm gonna go live my life. I'm gonna go enjoy these millions. I'm gonna go enjoy my podcast. I'm gonna go enjoy the millionaire life, and not care about y'all. But that's the risk you run when you go back and call yourself giving back, because there's always somebody like you said that's gonna be there, not for nothing positive, just to bait you into trying to get a check out of you. Because that's just.
James, welcome, James. Welcome to the show.
What's up, James?
Our UK affiliate. What's going on? James makes a lot of good points. We've been kind of hinting to that. Cam engages and
right.
He kind of goes too hard on this.
Right.
Do you think on some of the first, second, or third, this is the third time to our knowledge that this has happened. Do you think if the first time he handled it and he didn't try to go back and forth with high school kids or even college kids, and he's trying to he's already by his stature 6'5", 260, muscle bound,
right?
He's
right.
You know who
he's a machine.
He's a machine. Right. But the fact is I think part of the problem is that he feels like, is he really secure in what he's done as an NFL player? Because you think if you had a discussion, even ego-wise, I couldn't envision Michael Jordan going to a basketball camp and someone saying, "Hey, listen, I'm better than you. I'll dunk on you, or I'll shut you down. I'll lock you up." Now, Michael Jordan had a huge ego, right? He probably still does.
I don't know if he's the best play. I don't know if he's the best example for this, because Mike said, "Oh yeah, check ball." Mike would have checked.
But he would do that. He would do that. But I don't think he would engage. Okay, I'll give an example.
Words?
Maybe
no war words.
Yeah, words aren't going to move him to the point where
absolutely not.
Because he's going to say, you know what? The sneakers I was going to give you for free, you're not getting. Like there are certain things. All you would have to do is find out who that kid was and say, okay, my next camp, obviously you're not getting invited. Like, because it's his camp, or he was somebody that was kind of a keynote type speaker of the camp, or he doesn't have to. I think he lowers himself by getting into it. James brought up a good point. He's cursing at, high school kids and, doing some stuff that's questionable. I just think, and the hat's not going to come off, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I think it's sewn in. It's sewn into his locks. I don't know. The hat is probably, I don't know. But that's
the sturdiest hat I've ever seen.
That is one of the. So if anything, the hat maker is going to make money, because they're going to say,
absolutely.
How did the hat stay on? It's like one of those Stanley Cups. You ever see I think it's the Stanley Cups that it's supposed to keep stuff cold, and it took off because the car was on fire, and when it was over, through the char and the ash, they were still able to grab
unscathed.
the cup and shake it, and it still had ice in it. It's still cold. That's how Cam Newton's head is. It's like that hat. It doesn't matter what he could have took 5 more
pile driver. Yeah,
right. And that hat would have still stayed on. So, I just think it's unfortunate that, and I think it was in Atlanta too. On top of it,
I think so.
It's like.
I actually read a statement from one of the guys. He said Cam was talking to us crazy, so we had to put hands on him.
Now, I can't say that didn't happen.
Right.
If Cam carried himself a certain way, it would seem like, yo, that behavior, I'm just here trying to have a camp, and these guys, accosted me or jumped me or stepped to me, and I had to defend myself. But Cam has set a precedent that I'm going to engage with whoever brings it. I'm going to go right back with him, even though he has a lot more to lose.
Way more to lose.
Because even if he was defending himself, let's say it was a kid, and someone says, "Hey, I was trying to break it up and I got punched and I had to get stitches." Who you think that they're going to think of? Cam Newton, and they're going to think of a high school kid, right? Because he just can't win in that situation.
All right, it's like on Raw when Eddie Murphy said it was a big fight in the disco and everybody in the club sued him.
Right.
Right. They're gonna
Exactly.
go after the money. They're gonna go after the money, man. And like you said, it's unfortunate. And even the first dude that he threw down the hill, he could have said, "Oh, I broke something," and
Right.
he'll be an instant millionaire, or at least 100,000 there.
Of
I
course.
mean, like you said, after the first camp, I'd have been like, all right, maybe that was just a fluke. The second camp, I'm like, oh, I'm getting disrespected at every camp. You know what? No more camps.
I don't need
No
this.
more.
Right.
Exactly. I don't need y'all. I hate to take this approach, but y'all need me. I do not need y'all. Okay,
Right.
but you said like Cam does probably have an ego, and he probably feels like he can still get out there and play, and he's still in shape. So he's like, on the same token, I'm a man and I don't have to take this from you. But he should know. I mean, he should have people. He should have it instilled in him that somebody's always watching, somebody's always recording.
Of
They
course.
can edit the video. They can edit out the whole first part of them dudes grabbing you and
Right.
just show the Hawk come up with the dude and just throw him down the hill.
That's it. You're right.
they get. I mean, it's so like you say, he just got so much more to lose. I mean, I can't say it's not smart of him because I wasn't in his shoes. Because who knows what happened if three people jump on, anybody jump on, you or me, or how we going to react to it. So it's easy for us to say that.
No, I'm not defending him not defending himself. I'm
Oh
not
yeah, I know
saying
what you're
he
saying.
should have defended himself.
He shouldn't have put himself in the situation at all. He shouldn't even be around the people for real.
Correct.
Especially without. Did he even have security?
I don't know. There was just so many hands, and
I did see towards the end, like one kid came up and threw a punch in his favor, and he was telling the kid, stop, no, I got it, like.
Right.
Yeah, but the kid definitely
Someone
did let
said he
one
looked
fly.
like Jeepers Creepers. I thought that was funny. Somebody.
Oh yeah, he
mentioned
do.
That
Yeah.
With the hair and the size and all that. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
and the hat.
that was crazy.
I thought that was hilarious. But
Yeah.
hey, listen. We'll see if Cam, he stops his camps or he'll continue with it. But let's talk about Russell Wilson. He has had an interview recently and gave a little more information about the whole restructuring of his contract. They wanted him to remove the injury clause. He was told, I think after they won and they beat Kansas City, that I think there was 9 games left. And I think it was the coach that came to him and said, hey, listen, we're going to bench you for the rest of the season if you don't restructure or adjust your contract.
I remember this a little bit.
Yeah. And so he really went into detail about it, about the fact that he was a little shocked by it initially. Like, wait, what do you mean? Like, you're coming off of a victory, obviously, to the Kansas City Chiefs, who went on to win the Super Bowl. And you're asking me to take something that I collectively bargained for and negotiated away from my contract to play in the game. Well, clearly that's, against the rules, that you can't do that.
Right.
So he didn't do it. And I think he said the following game was supposed to be playing on a Monday Night Football. And it really went to almost game time. He didn't know if he was going to play or not. He didn't know if he was going to be benched based off the conversation. And it got to a point where ultimately he was allowed to play. The NFLPA got involved. But I'll say this. He's saying that he still wants to be a Bronco if they can work everything out. Now, me personally, the way I just think that ship has sailed. I think he is in his best interest. He should go elsewhere. I mean, the coaches disrespected him, yelling at him on the sideline. And I mean, not just chewing him out in practice or being a little more discreet about it. I think it was a primetime game.
Right.
And so that type of disrespect, I know that maybe you have set your life, and you're accustomed to maybe Denver and you like that, but move on. There are teams that need a quarterback of his skill set that obviously he would still be an upgrade to those players or to those teams. And I think he should go elsewhere. What do you say?
Well, I mean, every player, being that he's his own like entity and, what is it? his own foundation or whatever. They have teams, so I'm pretty sure his agent probably gauged the market to see like if he were to leave, who would have interest, and it's probably not, coming back to how he likes to see, what he would like. Maybe nobody wants Russell Wilson at this point, because they undervalued him so much, and pretty much like you said, they were going to bench him, and they made him just seem like they could do better without him, and they were horrible, So it's like maybe the return that he's looking for elsewhere is not looking good, so he's like, well, maybe I should just stay here and stay with the lesser of two evils. But at the same time, yeah, the way Sean Payton was like treating him on the side, treating him, talking to him, is like he should have had a Cam moment where he threw him down the hill. It's
right.
Like, yeah, it's
absolutely.
Like,
you're absolutely right.
It's like, dude, I'm a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I came here, I turned down other, probably better opportunities to come here and try to make this a respectable organization, and this is how you treat me. You want to take money from me. You want me to waive, you want me to just, like you said, my team went through all this to negotiate a contract, and you basically want me to just throw it away and just give a deal that's, friendly to y'all, where I basically get nothing. If I get hurt, I get nothing,
Exactly.
And he's always hurt. So it's like,
yeah,
I'll
say this. Towards the latter part of his career so far, he's been hurt. Remember, Russell Wilson was an Iron Man. He hardly missed any games.
Yeah, that was a while ago, though.
Now, what'd you say?
I said that was a while ago, though. Like, that's when he was in Seattle.
He had some injuries down the line, but
yeah,
no one would ever remove that. That wouldn't be in their best interest.
That's insurance. Like, you going to drive around without insurance? Like, are you, like what are we talking about here? But if I was Russ, if it was an opportunity to go somewhere else, like you said, I would definitely try to go somewhere else and get a fresh start. Like, Denver is not that great of a city, like, that you can't find nowhere better. Like, it's other places. Well, I mean, where else could he possibly go to and start?
Oh, well, there's talk about. I mean, think about it. Atlanta, he's better than any quarterback they have.
Right.
The Steelers, that's the biggest talk. Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett is trash. Okay.
Right. Absolutely.
So he could definitely. That's a huge upgrade, and I think that Coach Tomlin will give him the respect as a man. He'll hold him accountable.
Absolutely.
Which everyone needs to be held accountable, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, if you need to play better, but still respect him. I don't think that disrespect would ever be seen on the sideline and just trying to belittle him. And it's about respect at the end of the
absolutely.
day.
Yeah.
And so I thought, I felt, there's a movie that I like. It's called The Edge. It's an older movie with Anthony Hopkins. And one of the quotes is, never feel sorry for a person that has a plane, right? Okay. But I remember watching Russell Wilson, and I felt bad for him. I know he's a millionaire. I know he has Ciara. He has a beautiful family. And, he does these videos where he's always doing all kinds of dangerous, all of that. But I felt sorry for him because that display of disrespect, you have to compose yourself. It takes something for someone to be in your face and you not revert to what comes naturally as a man.
Right. Yeah.
You should be in defense mode, right? It brings you to a point where automatically, involuntary muscle, your hand turns into a fist, right? And for him not to do that, I have another level of respect for him. That's first off.
Right.
Number two, he still kept it professional.
Absolutely.
And so, are there any teams that need that level of professionalism, that level of
level-headedness? Yeah.
And even though they were trying, if someone is trying to undercut you, he still played at a high level through the rest of the season. So I have a lot of respect for him based off of that, because people a lot of times are measured by how they deal with adversity. Yeah. And there's a lot to be said for how he professionally handled himself and carried himself as a man.
Absolutely. Because we know players that didn't carry themselves like that, i.e. Latrell Sprewell. He just went straight to the choke. Like, oh really? This what we doing? Yeah, I mean, you can't you can't really fault somebody for how they react to something, especially that. That was just like I know he was like, oh, word, this what we
Right.
doing? Yeah, so
Exactly.
yeah, but yeah, he like you said, he showed another level of self control. That was unmatched. Because
Yeah.
anybody else probably would have said, you know what, you right, I'll take the
Yeah.
suspension and just
They would have
teed
either
off on him.
right. I mean, look at Travis Kelce,
Hmm.
right? And that was because he wasn't in a play and he
Yeah,
was almost knocking his coach over.
yeah,
Imagine someone getting in your face and berating you and yelling and putting their finger in your face. Listen, shout outs to Russell Wilson
yeah,
for holding it
absolutely.
down and being able to compose himself.
Being the
And as
ultimate
Rod would say,
professional.
use comportment and be able to control himself. You know,
Comportment.
comportment. It's
I'm
like
gonna have I'm gonna have to look that up.
yeah, look
That's
that up. It's because
that's where you
that's one
put your
of those.
bag at on the airplane. The overhead
Right.
comportment. The overhead comportment.
Right. Exactly. Things have shifted. Be
Yeah.
careful when you open the overhead compartment because
Yeah, the
things may have
comportment.
shifted during the
Yeah.
flight.
Yeah, man.
So let's talk lastly about LeBron James, okay?
Hmm.
LeBron James, his son Bronny, we know that he had options to go a lot of schools. He wound up
Okay.
going to USC. Could have went to Ohio State. He could have went to Duke. There was a ton of schools that wanted him because he was a high prospect coming out of high school, right? Sierra Canyon, I think that's where he went.
Right.
So Bronny was supposed to be, of course, having the name LeBron Jr., like you're expecting, fair or not, expecting to be great. Maybe not as great as your dad, but great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we know he had a health scare. He had, he went into
The cardiac arrest thing.
Yeah. So, of course, when you do that, regardless of how young you are, you have to work your way back into being in physical shape enough to compete.
Right.
As a result of that, his numbers have slipped, right? So Bronny is averaging about 5 points a game, maybe 3-4 rebounds, maybe 2-3 assists. Not anything that's going to be certainly not a lottery pick. Certainly not someone that would go in the first round. So there's a report
if he even gets drafted.
Right. He's going to get drafted. He's going to get drafted. If he's healthy enough to play, he'll get drafted on just the strength of his pops. He's going to get drafted.
Yeah.
So the problem with that is now they're kind of projecting him not to go this year, but to be a second round pick in 2025. And so LeBron James goes on Twitter or X or one of his social media platforms. And pretty much I'm paraphrasing, just let the kid enjoy himself. Just let him, the work is going to, take care of itself. Let him enjoy himself. Let him be a kid. Let him just enjoy college and the college experience. And so I have a major problem with that. And I was watching, Stephen A. Smith actually brought up a good point, and I'm really surprised that he did, and Shannon Sharp. But I agree with that. LeBron James has said that he wants to play with his son. That he's willing to go anywhere he needs to include not playing with the Lakers in order to have Bronny on his team. That's his goal, his dream.
Yeah.
And so for him to then say, just let him be a kid, just let him enjoy himself. Don't push him too hard. I just think part of it is self-inflicted, right? I think LeBron is a contributing factor to the pressure of his son being great or being a potential bust. What do you say?
Well, I mean, him saying that, you putting pressure on 30 GMs to draft this kid, because like, hey, if I draft him, I'm going to get, arguably one of the greatest players ever to play on my team for a year or two. So that gives me a year or two window to possibly win a championship.
Of course.
That's like the job security that Thanasis Antetokounmpo has.
Absolutely. That's a great point. That's a great point.
It's like that kind of job security. Like, okay, All I got to do is get this kid and I get him. It's a no-brainer. You know, I mean, nobody's going to take him with like the first 10 picks, especially if his players out there. You know, but that one team, somebody falls in 15, like the Knicks. You know, they you know.
Oh yeah, and they may trade up because just what you said, it's a package deal, and LeBron didn't let his son be on his own based on his skills. He's selling it as a package deal. Like, you're getting us.
Yeah.
The arguably top 2 ever, and a clone, a potential player that could be as good.
You let him sit on the bench.
Son will be better. Bryce will.
Oh yeah, Bryce. Oh, Bryce definitely gonna be better. But listen, you draft Bronny, right? He sits on the bench until it's like blowout time, and maybe he get on the floor with his dad. You're gonna sell tickets. Sure. The revenue is going to go through the roof.
Absolutely.
You know, and then you keep Bron happy. He gets to catch an alley-oop from his son, throw his son an alley-oop late in the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just has to be a team that's willing to just say, you know what? We can use that. We can use that extra revenue, and we can use, the exposure. We're going to get 15 more TV games, primetime games. We're going to be on TNT with Kobe, with Shaq and Charles and all those guys.
Right.
I mean, yeah, he just basically put pressure on the whole league. Letting them know, hey, it's a good chance. You get him, you get us. We're like you said, we're a package deal. So. Yeah, but then for him to double back and say, "Oh, let him be a kid," they like, absolutely not. We're not gonna let him be a kid. We're gonna draft him because you said you wanted to play with him. So we're going to take the first step and get him in here, and you make sure you keep good on your part. You come on too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So I think, he'll be fine at the end of the day. We know that he has the potential. He's gonna have the best coaches, like from a skill camps, but he has these people at his house.
Yeah, but how good is he really? Like, if he wasn't LeBron's son and he was just a kid coming up, is he even a lottery pick?
He hasn't shown as of yet, so I would say no. I would say no.
Does he go undrafted?
I don't think that's going to happen. LeBron has enough pull that he can coerce.
I know that, but I'm using. Oh,
Rod, you're saying if he wasn't?
I'm using Rod.
I see.
I'm using Rod. I'm channeling my inner Rod right now.
Okay.
If his dad wasn't who he was, okay, and all that, does he even get drafted? Like,
at this point, averaging 5 points, no.
They would
draft Juju Watkins first. They would take her. They would take someone from the girls' team. Right, Caitlin Clark. Their numbers are more impressive. So no, he wouldn't. He would not be drafted, but he benefits from the fact that his father, and rightfully so. Who, as a father, would not? If you're in the position to hook your family up, your kids, why would you not? Right?
Yeah, especially your kid.
You would open the door and say, "Hey, listen. My track record is what it is, and here you have a brand new version of me, a younger version. You're able to grow with this, yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if he plays, he gets drafted. Will not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows any glimpse of being a LeBron, not capital L but lowercase L. That he doesn't get a shoe deal. He's going to be afforded every opportunity to succeed.
I mean, just his dad putting it out there that he wanted to play with him, going to give him every chance to fail. He's going to get every chance to fail.
Right.
He's going to get every chance. They're going to look the other way. Even if he has his own half-hour segment of Shaq and the Fool, he's still going to get more chances because his dad said that he wants to play with him. So I think that he'll really get at least two full seasons, as long as his dad is there, as a chance. And once his dad leaves, maybe he'll get one more. Maybe he'll get his whole rookie contract to, try to see if it's anything there. But like you said, I think his little brother's going to be better than him because he's already just like a monster. Like, I like Bryce. I like Bryce over Bronny.
He's bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, he just seems he just seems to have it. The eye test tells you that Bryce is going to be better than Bronny. But listen, given the opportunity, and we don't know, having a heart attack is a big deal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, trying to recover from that and get to the point where you're healthy enough to, I'm talking about play full court basketball and compete at a high level. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I didn't see Sierra Canyon when he was playing. Of course, it's high school. And when you see the highlights, it's all what Bronny's doing, right? So you're seeing, and part of it, if you got your father who is a NBA superstar or great on the sideline, teammates are trying to get you the ball. So I gave, Bronny the alley-oop or the assist.
Absolutely.
So it was catered to him.
Yeah.
Seeing him on the USC level after he clears and has a full off season and he's healthy, that will be a determining factor of how that's a true assessment of how good he'll be.
Yeah, but on this level, you got 12 other guys that's trying to get drafted, so they could care less.
Oh, of course.
They could care less about giving Bronny a oop unless it's just the right play to do.
But let me tell you, the 12 other players are not the donor that LeBron James is.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
so
that too.
If you want a LeBron James wing to USC, make sure he gets 25 touches. LeBron still can control that. How many? Those other kids is, if you good enough, you get drafted with the 5 shots you're getting. But Bronny's gonna get these.
Didn't Dr. Dre say that if you want to get your kids in, you got to build a building or something?
Absolutely. And it was USC, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So for sure. So I don't think it's going to change. I think when healthy, he's going to be afforded every opportunity possible.
Every opportunity. Yeah, that's what I said. Every opportunity to fail, he's going to have it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, Scrap, man, fantastic job. I just want to say this for the record. Rod who? Nah, I'm not.
Don't do that.
Rod who? Man?
Is there a co-host controversy?
Oh, man. No. Not at all.
Absolutely
Shouts out to my co-host, Rod. Yeah. Man, you did a fantastic job as always. I mean, I'm not surprised, But everyone, please like, share, subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram pages. We're trying to, just grow the show. If there's anything you want to discuss, of course, we're in now March Madness is going to be coming up soon. That's going to be interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course, we got more NBA stuff. 15 days, I think, is free agency for the NFL. Of course, you got the draft coming up.
Brandon, now you can't return punts.
Oh, man. Listen.
Another hour.
You want this show to go. I know. That is okay. Rod, come on back, Rod. Just when I was giving you your flowers, you had to say something about Brandon Ayuk.
I was channeling my inner.
Right.
Brandon Ayuk is not a good punt returner.
Right. He'll never score a touch. No. What would Rod say?
Andre Iguodala never led him to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but March Madness is around the corner, man, and I'm crossing my fingers. I need Merrimack to make the dance. I need to see my youngin' on the big stage.
Oh, that would
I need
be awesome,
to see
man.
it. Yeah, that would be awesome. I think Bowling Green. I hope Bowling Green makes it too, because I got a youngin' on that team, and he's getting time now. So.
Oh, that's great.
Absolutely. His name EJ Greer. EJ Greer, man. I'm telling you, he looked like KD, man. Sorry, Rod. Yeah, he's like 6'8", long, lanky. Jump shot is, oh my goodness, almost good as mine. Almost good as mine. Yeah, so I'm pulling. I want to see these youngins on the big stage, man. I got to see them on there. I want to see them on there.
Wait a minute, somebody's coming up. Can you picture Cap instead of Brock winning against? Oh man, listen. Could Cap win? Listen. In that scenario, it wasn't the offense. What's up, Robert? Thanks for joining us. It wasn't the offense. It was the defense after dominating in the first half, just completely going away from what they did to be successful. And so I would say from a standpoint of if there were open lanes, could capitalize and run for more yards? Oh yeah, of course. He ran for 180 yards against Green Bay, and I guess, was that the NFC Championship game, or it was a playoff game? He set the record for the amount of rushing yards from a quarterback. Could he do that in those scenarios when the plays broke down and he had to take off and run? Yeah, he probably, at his career could have, utilized that a little more. But it was not on the offense. It was, well, I'll say this, it was shared. I know ultimately the defensive coordinator got the axe, but that wasn't correct. They did a good job, and they did enough
to win.
Held Kansas City enough that they should have capitalized on the offensive end. When you get turnovers with the short field, 3 is not going to work against Patrick Mahomes. We've already seen that. You got to score touchdowns, and they didn't do that, and as a result, confetti was falling, and it wasn't for them. Robert, did Rod tell you to make that comment? Did he?
No, he would have said something about Brandon Ayuk if Rod would have sent them.
Okay. Because I know that Rod has a few plants that come in and make different comments to try to set me off, but it won't. It's not going to happen. And then I'll show, and Robert comes in with a haymaker at the end. But my hat's going to stay on. My hat will stay on.
Keep your hat on.
I'm going to keep my hat on. But everyone, thanks for joining us. Shout outs to Kingdom Creative for the production. Shout outs to Infinite Audio for the music. Man, Scrap, fantastic job. Rob, we'll see you on the next one.
Absolutely.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Until next time, peace.